Hey everyone, welcome to Crafthive, where we cover workflows and best practices for creative professionals. With the threat of the new coronavirus becoming increasingly more real every day, you might be finding yourself in a position where working from home may be a reality for you, whether you're looking forward to it or not. Today we'll be talking about setting up for remote work at home so that you might be better prepared for what you're about to get yourself into. We'll cover the pros and cons of working from home, some of the best practices that have worked for us, services and tools that may increase your productivity, and other tips and tricks that you might find useful. Some of the pros include a flexible schedule which allows you to spend more time with your family, kids, and whatever other strange obsessions you might have. Working from the comfort of your own home means that you can decide on your own working environment, choose to cook hot meals for yourself directly in your own kitchen, and even work in your pajamas if that's the sort of thing that you're into. Having no commute time is another advantage that'll not only save time but also cut on your travel expenses and avoid horribly overcrowded public transit, which always sucks, outbreak or not. It also means more autonomy. You won't have to worry about your sweaty boss hovering over your shoulder watching your screen and meaninglessly micromanaging your every click. However, working from home also means that you'll have less human interaction in general, and if you're a weird type A social butterfly type, that might suck for you. Your cat and toddler might not always make for the most stimulating water cooler conversations. You'll probably also find that distractions are everywhere at home. TV, games, bed, adult entertainment. So you'll have to do your best to try and avoid them. It might be hard for some to make the distinction between work time and home time while working from home. Having an undefined work schedule makes it so that it's unclear when the workday starts and ends. Without the physical act of closing your work computer and commuting home, it's harder to make that separation. You might start blurring the lines between responsibilities and forget to do things. Kind of like when you get too lost in a new video game, and you start skipping out on meals and forget to shower. Communicating can also be a challenge when you're not in the same physical space as your coworkers. It might not be as easy for the loud Tom of the office to go hover around people's desks asking how to solve his problems. You turn it on and off again, Tom. Working in your pajamas probably isn't a good idea. You might find it difficult to make a difference between work time and home time. Getting dressed into your work clothes might help you get back into the working groove, whereas working in your pajamas might condition your brain to go back to sleep and relax all day. You might even want to take this a step further and keep the same rituals that you would normally follow while going into work, like waking up, snoozing for 20 minutes, wake up again, take a shower, get dressed, make coffee, eat breakfast, etc. Set concrete working hours for yourself. Decide that you work from 9 to 5, for example, and do your best to actually switch off work mode at 5 o'clock. Dedicating a space in your house to work from, like an office or a spare bedroom, will also help distancing your work life from your home life, which is not always easy when you're working out of the same room that your bed and all 9 seasons of The Office are in. The lack of socializing is probably the biggest downside to working from home, especially if you're the social type who gets a lot of energy out of being around people and bonding. Luckily, there are many tools out there to help bridge that gap and bring the workspace to your home, like directly in your home. Slack, Discord, and Zoom are great tools for communicating with your team. You can even set up a Discord server or a Zoom room that is always active and available to your team throughout the day. That way, any member of your team can join and leave the room as they see fit. Taking your lunch hour to eat lunch with your teammate over video call might help preserve that office hour lunch bonding time. It's like mukbang, but without lonely South Korean gamers, unless your coworkers are lonely South Korean gamers, in which case, like mukbang. As for tools, Google Drive and particularly Google Backup and Sync are fantastic tools for sharing and storing data with your teammates. Assuming you aren't using a VPN to log into your company's local file network, you might find it challenging to share and organize files from home. Use Google Drive to store your files and share them with teammates, and install Google Backup and Sync to set up a directory locally on your computer that's always up to date with your Google Drive. This will allow you to write files directly to your Google Drive from whichever software you're using. And if you're the coding type, this makes it a whole lot easier to automate writing files to your shared drive. If your work entails handling large files, your disk drive might fill up fairly quickly. Storing files and backing up your work onto external hard drives will quickly become a necessity. It might even be worth investing in a NAS, or Network Attached Storage System, which is basically a big black box of hard drives connected to your network. This would allow you to store a lot more data and to access it from any machine on your network. Finally, If you're unable to bring your office desktop home with you, but still need access to it from home, softwares like TeamViewer, Google Remote Desktop, and others will allow you to connect and control your machine from your home PC. There's a bit of latency, but you should be able to run most anything, assuming you're not trying to max your APM in a competitive StarCraft match. There's hardware that can also help with this, known as Zero Clients, which is a small computer with no storage or OS that essentially connects to your remote machine. This requires a bit more setup, but it's more secure and it'll provide a much better user experience for you. Do your future self a favor and take the opportunity to cook home-cooked meals instead of putrid-smelling office cafeteria food, sandwiches from the shitty coffee shop in your office building, and feeding yourself solely on organic company granola bars that taste like bird food. You'll thank yourself later. Think of this as an exciting new opportunity to learn new skills, be more present with your family or pets, and potentially live a more balanced life. If you found this video at all useful and got anything out of it, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more workflow tips in the future. We'd love to know your thoughts, or if you have any tips and tricks of your own on working from home, please share them in the comments below. Stay safe, and don't forget to wash your hands. Bye.